Welcome, my beautiful people. So here we are going to look at English paper 2, and our focus will be on rewrites, and we are going to use different past papers. Now, the concept about rewrite is that we are told transformations. So these are called transformations. In each of the following items, sentence A is complete. So we are given a complete sentence, but sentence B is incomplete. Complete sentence B in each time, making it as similar as possible in meaning to sentence A. Make sentence B one sentence, never two. Do not make any changes to the printed parts of a sentence. So this means that you have to make sure that you maintain the meaning, or you have to make sure that the meaning of what you're going to write is similar to the meaning of the first sentence. And never make a mistake of writing two sentences for sentence B. So even if sentence A has two sentences, your answer should always be in one sentence. For example, we are told the boy is John. That is our first sentence here. Full stop. He broke the window last week. This is our second sentence. Now the answer was written in one sentence. John is the boy who broke the window last week. So this should be week. So now let's begin with our first part. Now there are some rewrites that have rules that needs to be followed, and there are also rewrites that you just have to, or that depends on your level of English. So the first question here, the teacher and her learners are working hard toward the attainment of good results. So the reason why the teacher and her learners are working hard, so that there is a good result at the end of the journey. Now, sentence B, the teacher, we have comma, so that's a rule, in collaboration with. So in collaboration with her learners. So in collaboration with her learners, another comma. Now instead of saying are, we change are to is working. So we're going to say is working hard towards the attainment of good results. So this is the rule that you need to make sure you follow. So we have two commas, the teacher, comma, in collaboration with her learners, comma, instead of saying are, you need to treat this sentence as singular, is working hard towards the attainment of good results. We move on to question number 2. This woman is patient, is surprising. Then we have question B. This woman is surprisingly patient. So is surprisingly patient. Then number 2, it was reported that she had died of cerebral malaria. Then it begin, she was reported to have died. To have died of cerebral malaria. Number 4, you will manage to find him next Thursday. Then we are given not until. So not until next Thursday. So not until next Thursday. will you manage to find him? Now, I'm not saying the answers that I'm giving you are the only answers, or maybe are the ways you have to answer it. Sometimes a sentence may have maybe 2 or 3 ways of answering that question. So for those that may have different approach of these sentences, please feel free to share in the comment section below so that we can learn from you as well. Then we have question 5. So question 5 is given in a direct speech. And how do you know that this is a direct speech? When some words are put in inverted commas. So we have got double inverted commas. I am not responsible for this loss in any way, said the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper said that. So here we need to make excuse me, we need to make some changes. So what are we going to change? We need to change I changes. So the goalkeeper said that I will change to he changes to was. So the goalkeeper said that he was not responsible for this changes to that. So for that loss in any way. So for those that may want to know more about direct into indirect, please, you can search for a video. I have videos where I looked into that. Then we move on to question number 6. You will emerge victorious provided you remain focused. So here we are dealing with a condition. So there is a condition for you to emerge victorious. You need to remain focused. If you don't remain focused, then you're not going to emerge victorious. For you to pass, you need to study hard. You don't study hard, you don't pass. So there is a condition. So these are condition sentences. So we are begin with unless. So unless is a negative word. It's same as if not. So if not, you do that, you are not going to do that. So unless you remain focused. So unless you remain focused. So unless you remain focused. So after unless, it follows by the condition. Unless you remain focused, we're not going to say you will match, but we'll say you will not, because it's negative. You will not. Since you can't remain focused, you will not emerge victoriously. So you say you will not emerge victorious. Number 7. Number 7, let us meet and discuss this issue. Then we are told it is high time. It is high time. So what is the rule when we use it is high time? So when we use it is high time, we need to change meet and discuss. So the whole thing is about you change a verb into past. So we can't say it is high time we meet and discuss. No, it is high time we met. So us will change to we, meet changes to met, discuss will change to discussed. So please take note of that. We have question 8. One should be courageous and determined to succeed in politics. Begin, excuse me. It takes courage and determination. It takes courage and determination. So it takes courage and determination to succeed. To succeed in life. Number 9. Immediately Andy won the race, he fainted. No sooner had he. So this one also had some rules that you need to follow. So no sooner goes with the than. So we are going to use than at some point. So say no sooner had he Andy won the race. So where there is comma now, we put than he fainted. So what you need to understand here is whenever you encounter no sooner, you need to put where there is a comma, if the first sentence has a comma, with the word than. No sooner had goes with the than. Number 10. Although Betty is very tall, she's not good at long jumping. So in spite of the fact that, so in spite of the fact that Betty is very tall, comma, she is not good at long jump. Right, so we move on. So we have the first example. I would rather starve than eating worms. I prefer, so prefer goes with to. So whenever you see I prefer, you need to use to at some point. I prefer starving to eating worms. Now, prefer doesn't mean you hate the other thing. It means you like the first thing more than the second one. Now, we have question 1. I'm sure now we are clear because we can see we did a similar question with until. Until I finish the work, I will not go to the movies. So there is a condition that for me to go to the movies, I have to make sure that the work is done. Then we have not until I finish the work. Not until I finish the work. Comma. Not until I finish the work, comma. Okay, let's not put comma. Not until I finish the work will I go to the movies. Or if we want, we can also say not until I finish the work, comma, I will go to the movies. That's still okay. Stay away from the fence. Stay away from the fence. Add a question tag. So question tags have some rules that you need to follow. So we have stay away from the fence. So how can we change this? So we are going to just say So will you is our answer. Then for B, unless the boy is proved innocent, he will be sentenced to 15 years in prison. So the condition is if he's not proved innocent, he will be sentenced. If he is proved innocent, he will not be sentenced. So that is it. So now how can we write? So we'll say if the boy is proved innocent. So if the boy is proved innocent, he will not be sentenced to 15 years in prison. Or if you want, we can also say if the boy is not proven innocent, he will be sentenced to 15 years in prison. We go to question number 4. So it's a direct speech kind of a question, which should be written in reported speech. Keep your money in this tin until tomorrow, said my mother. My mother told me to keep my money. So this changes to in that tin. So in that tin until, so tomorrow changes to the following day, until the following, or we can say next day. Question 5a. It is the duty of the monitor to collect the books. Then the question B, begin. The monitor has the duty. So has the duty of collecting books. The monitor has the duty of collecting books. I don't even know why I thought of writing that. We'll move on to question number 6. So question number 6, Hantio was happy to attend the Kuomboka ceremony and see the Litunga. Hantio enjoyed. So what are we going to change? We need to change some tenses. So the attend should be attending. So we're going to say Hantio. Here, if you look at the first sentence we have was happy. Then we use enjoyed. It's in the past. So the attend changes to ing. So Hancho enjoyed attending. So attending the Kuomboka ceremony and seeing the Litunga. Number 7. Both Sichula and Yelesani are good at mathematics. So here we are looking at 2 individuals. Sichula, comma, as well as Yelesani, as well as Yelesani comma. So when you mention the second person, you put another comma. Now, this is similar to the first question where we used in collaboration with. So you change from changes to is good at mathematics. Number 8. Mrs. Millimore was poor, but she managed to send her 6 children to school. Begin poor. So poor as Mrs. Millimore. So poor as Mrs. Millimore was, comma, she managed. She managed to send her 6 children to school. Okay, so we move on to question 9. We came here because we want to see the extent of the damage to the bridge. We came here because we want to see the extent of the damage to the bridge. Begin. We came here with a view. So here we need to look at how do we write with a view. So with a view, we can say to see the extent of the damage to the bridge. Or if we want, we can say we came here with a view to seeing. It's still okay. To seeing the extent of the damage to the bridge. That's still correct. Question 10. It was not necessary for Mugubute to come for the meeting. So Mugubute needn't have come for the meeting. Have come for the meeting. Okay, so we can now continue. We have the example, Chuma broke the window. Sorry, not the window. Chuma broke the mirror. So the first sentence for this example is that it is in active form. So if we say it is in active form, it means it is following the subject plus verb plus the object. So subject is the doer of the action. Verb is the action involved. Object is where the action is landing, or the receiver of an action. As we can see, Chuma is the doer, broke, verb, mirror is the object because that's what received the action. So now to rewrite this sentence, since we are beginning with the mirror, which is the object, we need to change this one into passive voice or passive form. So the way passive form is object plus verb plus subject. That's the formula. So the mirror was broken by Chuma. Now let's look at the first question. Question 1. The pool is deeper here than at the far end. At the far end, So at the far end, comma, the pool is not as deeper as here. The pool is not so deep as here. Or if we want, we can say at the far end, comma, the pool is shallower than here. So we can also say at the far end. We are comparing a pool is shallower than here. Or if we want, we can say at the far end, comma, the pool is not as deep as it is here. Let's move on to question number 2. So question number 2, it's direct into reported. Give this receipt to your teacher tomorrow, Mumba. Shouted Mr. Banda. Mr. Banda commanded Mumba. So commanded Mumba to give. So to give this will change to that. To give that receipt to your will change to his or her teacher. So to her teacher, tomorrow changes to the following slash next day. Just like that. Then we have question 3. You will not qualify to enter college until you are 16. I'm not going to answer this one. I want to hear from you guys since we've looked at a sentence with not until. Let's go to question number 4. Although the storm was heavy, the little girl walked to school. In spite of, I'm going to skip this one also. We did a similar one, so give it a try. Number 5. So for those that want to send the answers, you can use this number for WhatsApp. So 0962895804. We go to number 5. You can scream as much as you can, but she will not hear you. Then begin, however. So how do you write with however? So however needs a comma. So we can say however much you scream. However much you scream, comma, she will not hear you. She will not or she won't hear you. Number 6, the book was so good that it was published right away. Then begin, so good, the book, so good was the book, was the book that it was published right away. Then we've got number 7. Mary had just left the room when the baby started crying. So whenever you see scarcely in such a manner, this should be treated same as no sooner had, no sooner had, or immediately. So it's the same because we are told just after she left the room when the baby started crying. So now how do you write a sentence like this beginning with scarcely? So it says scarcely had So this followed by, so scarcely had Mary left the room. Now, for no sooner we use than, but for scarcely you say when the baby started crying. So scarcely had Mary left the room. And the other thing, you can also write, you can say scarcely did. When you use did, then instead of writing left, you have to say leave, because the past has been shown by did. Scarcely did Mary leave the room when the baby started crying. So if you use had, you use past tense. If you use did, you use, we can say future tense. Now, number 8. The goods were stolen because the building was not secured. The goods dash 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 the security. So the goods were stolen So the goods were stolen because the building lacked security or had no security. Number 9. While Monde was picking mushrooms in the bush, a snake bit her. Picking. So whenever you have ing, we need to have a comma. And the first part should be a phrase. A phrase is a sentence where you don't mention the doer of an action. So picking mushrooms in the bush. So picking mushrooms in the bush, comma. We have not mentioned the doer of the action here. So that's what you're supposed to do. But not always. Let's say 3/4 of these questions requires you to write the first part as a phrase. So picking mushrooms in the bush, then we can now say Monde. So Monde was beaten. Was beaten by a snake. Or if you want, we can say the snake beat Monde. Number 10, the children were roasting cassava and giving it to their parents. Cassava was being. So this is also active to passive. So cassava was being roasted and given to their parents by the children. Or if you want, we can say cassava was being roasted by the children and given to their parents. We still have the same correct answers. So this is what I wanted to share. Come for online classes if you want to revise more of this. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.